to the best of their ability. And we are underway. So our 3 runners went to Link's house and get some bombs. And yeah, someone is asking, why does it exist? This is purely so you can plan your route in advance and then execute the route. Sort of like how you execute any percent speedrun route. The only difference here is that the route is always different. But you at least have the guideline of what to follow.
Yeah, like this strat right here, 3 of our runners heading immediately to the back of Sarasaha's closet to grab fire rod, money, and the power glove. That was a loaded closet. That's not normally something you'd see because they wouldn't normally know what's back there.
Yeah. And you see, Shizami even skipped the chest, so he knows that chest is not anything he wants. So saving a few seconds here and there. Oh, the Moon Pearl was in the basement, so Shizami's getting that.
Interesting. So I have to wonder if we'll actually even see a map check from these guys.
I don't know. We did get a sword, though, in the well, so Shizami focusing on getting the sword and the Moon Pearl, whereas Salty Fry, Frostbite, and Boss Godfrey focusing on getting the Fire Rod and the gloves. And I assume with the sword in hand, Shizami is going to now head over that way. So it took a little extra time, but got himself a more stable weapon to fight with. Which, I can understand that logic. And yeah, something has to be in Eastern Palace. We don't know up here in the commentary booth. Like we said earlier, we sort of had a gentleman's agreement not to look at the square log. So, we have no idea what these runners are planning. And they're skipping that chest, so there's nothing in that one.
I'm not even looking at a hint tiles today, which isn't too surprising.
Yeah, they're just going straight to the back, so it looks like the big key must be vanilla.
Of course, no layout, which means we're about to be looking at some black rooms here in a few.
Actually, Frostbite's deviating here.
Oh, see, here's the thing with the spoiler log seed, is that if you don't necessarily know which chest corresponds to what room name, you can get turned around pretty easily.
Oh, there's the big key. So, Frostbite with the big key. So I guess what's here in the lamp lock chest is probably the bow. Or another key piece of the puzzle. Ooh, Boss Godfrey takes a death. Those dark rooms are not easy.
Not at all.
And that explains Shizami's route a little bit more. Wanted the sword for dark room navigation. Makes perfect sense to me now. And it's also a good weapon.
Well, yes.
Oh, and also, I forgot. We're listening to the pendant music, so this is a pendant dungeon. I keep forgetting about that. And the mirror was there, and the red boomerang was in the big chest. Alright.
Frostbite more than likely picking that up to help with Darkroom now.
Yeah, for anyone who's a fan who wants to see what a spoiler log looks like, on the site you can just press plus whenever you generate a normal seed. You won't obviously get the spoilers to this seed, but you know, if you're playing for fun, you decide, alright, I give up, where's the logic supposed to take me? You can just look at it and figure out where you were supposed to be doing. And we have the hook shot there in the basement of Hyrule Castle. It's actually, wow. That could have been trolling our runners for quite a bit.
I wonder if we're going to be seeing a early Dark Mountain play then with this combination of specific items. They'd have to do the Dark Rooms blind, but all of our players here, that shouldn't be an issue.
Well, we know that egg is not on the table because we need the cape and the lamp. And notice I did not say sword there because there is a little bit of a quirk in the logic that only puts one required sword in logic.
Indeed.
We'll be looking to fix that as soon as the tournament ends, most likely. Only got a few more weeks left, I'd say.
Salty Fry picking up a heart off the bottle vendor. That's definitely a safety item option.
Oh yeah. I expect a few hearts to be picked up here and there because, well, Ganon still does 8 hearts of damage. You probably want something to want at least a buffer in case you get hugged by him.
Frostbite picking up the bug net also in the bottom of Hyrule Castle.
Just appealing to the fans there, I think, getting the swag net. So this will be Salty Fry getting the Moon Pearl. There it is. And an extra heart container for the road.
Yeah, there is, with this type of spoiler seed we're doing tonight, there is definitely going to be some major out-of-logic sequence breaking here. Like, Chizame shouldn't be logically required to go up to Dark Death Mountain without the lamp. They shouldn't have gotten the mirror.
Well, given where they've been going, I would say that the lamp is probably in south of Light World. Probably in Paradox Cave. Or not Paradox Cave, Mini Moldern Cave. And they're just choosing to ignore it. Because they knew where the fire rod was, and that'll be their fire source. If it was something like the flute, they would absolutely have gone there right away, so it's probably in the lamp. And there's some blue mail up on Spectacle Rock. To answer your questions, Nurse, no it doesn't. Because of how the logic works. That means there's no progression at all on the tablets. So nothing can be locked behind the Master Sword, per se. And if you need a sword, you can find it in any of the other locations. Like I said, this is a sort of a quirk in the logic that we discovered recently, so we didn't actually know about it until, I think, GDQ week. Was that another mail upgrade in for Frostbite? No, there's something else. Oh, it's blue. Yes, if everyone is heard, you must have Magic Cape, and any of the tablets do not have any sort of progression item whatsoever. That is what the quirk in the logic is. Because it doesn't consider Master Sword as part of the progression, even though it should be. It only counts one sword.
It looks like we had Lamp down in Agina's cave. And Godfrey is heading back to...
Yeah, Boss Godfrey probably going back for... What is he going back for? Does he not have the mirror?
Maybe.
Well, in the meantime, we're seeing a Moldorm fight here. Going a little fast, but Shizami getting it done.
Now, Shizami had picked up the small key earlier, and I'm not sure why. No one wants to have to go down the Hera basement.
Oh, you know what I think happened? He used the key, but I think he died on the bubbles. And it looks like we have a tire room seat, folks, so, well, not the tire room, but a tire room.
And see, that's the other interesting thing about this, spoiler seed. They actually know where the Ganon's Tower Big Key is already. I just realized.
Yeah, we can't play our game. Well, we can play it for fun. But the results are skewed, so I guess we'll go by chest seen instead of chest, opened. Nah, actually, it doesn't make sense. I guess I won't see it. It's gonna be either 1 or 2. Because the torch. And yeah, there we go. Boss already did get the mirror, so I guess he had some trouble with the dark rooms. Meanwhile, Frostbite is taking an intentional death warp for some reason.
Boots on the bottom of Hera, that would explain why that was necessary.
Oh, you just want boots. They're just good.
Gotta go fast.
And if there's any sort of torch requirement, that alleviates that. Diagon, yes, you do need a small key to ascend Ganon's Tower safely. In most cases, the reason why you wouldn't need one is if one of the 3 chests before Mold Worm 2, there's a Master Sword for us and a green potion. One of those chests before has another small key. There are 4 small keys total in Ganon's Tower, not including pickups from pots.
Kazami is completely skipping the top of Paradox Cave.
I got so much junk today. Alright, and Spiral Cave apparently has something good.
Nice routing, that way able to pick up the boots before having to make that walk of shame.
I will say this is kind of a smart thing our runners are doing. They know Mold Armor is required, but they know a Master Sword is available. It's more time to go get the Master Sword than it is to save and quit and go up the mountain a second time. So they're basically min-masking their chat. Although, the Master Sword would have sped up the Mold Armor fight a little bit. But the time save is meaningless at best. Balkrux is something. Oh, there's our bow. So we have everything we need to defeat Ganon, although I don't think they really want to do a Master Sword Silverless.
If I gotta do Silverless, I want Tempered at the very least.
Agreed. Completely agreed. Library also has something for us. We never saw this. Oh! Oh, that's... That means the lamp... Well, that explains why the lamp was needed in the logic. Knowing these runners, they probably also know where half magic is.
Chat pointing out that pretty much nobody ever wants to do Silverless Master Sword Ganon.
I mean, I would be okay doing it. At least it's better than swordless swordless version.
That's true.
So that's 24 hammer swings you have to get perfect near frame perfect. And the hitbox is bad. The timing is a little delayed. Ah, Spiral Cave had the Titans. That's what you missed.
Yes.
So our runners already have Dark World access, so it looks like Shizame, instead of going to Dark World, is finishing up all the items that they can collect in the Light World. Which includes the Bombos medallion, so we're gonna see some fireworks. A few months early for that, unfortunately, but oh well. And off to Dark World goes Shizame. 15 minutes in, and look how many items we have lit up on our tracker.
Salty Fry and Super Bunny grabbing the silvers.
Ah, so that's what they were. And there's the flippers over the game. So, given what we're seeing from Shizame here, I'm going to assume that Turtle Rock is required. So what Shizame is doing is, Shizame is going to route getting the silvers on his way to Turtle Rock or on his way to GT.
Salty Fry picking up a bottle with a fairy in it, a good safety net. Possibly something on Sick Kid.
And yeah, to answer your question, she had 24 spins to defeat the final stage again, and counting another 12 in each of the other two phases and another 4, so that's a total of like 50 some odd spins you have to do in the fight. It takes like 5 minutes, whereas it only takes you like 2 or 3 with silvers and a tempered sword. It is a lot of time save just to have the silver arrows alone. $52. I was close. Trying to do math quickly under my head is not easy. Shizame having a little bit of trouble in the Hellway, as we call it.
Ooh!
Oh no! It's bumped by the spikes.
That's an unfortunate death to have to get all the way back to.
This is where those safeties can come into play. The Hellway is not a nice place. A lot of things can do a whole heart of damage to you there. And the Gibos do not help either because they move randomly.
I know, definitely, if I do stuff like the spoiler seed races, I'm looking up where Magic Powder is. It's probably one of my favorite safeties in the game outside of armor and...
Magic Powder is just like the absolute best safety in the game, bar none. Well, maybe invincibility, but still. Cross right now with the silver arrows. And Boss Guy getting bonked down the pit, unfortunately.
Yeah, 4 Heart Thieves Town, definitely not fun.
And sometimes it's required in inverted mode. I will say this much, though, inverted is quite fun. That is probably the best change amongst all the things that have happened. It takes a while to get used to just the difficulty spike of just starting in Dark World and the money riding they're in, but once you get the hang of it, it's actually quite fun.
Oh yeah. Salty heading to the Sassy Grove Cave Chat.
And today it has our magic cape, so that alone means Aga was not required, thank goodness. Well, Aga 2 is still required, but no Aga 1.
I wonder if that means something's up on Bumper Cave Ledge. Could also just be a safety.
Yeah. I mean, it is an item check, but it also doubles as a safety. And it looks like Hype Cave has something for us, so... This is going to be a very weighted Hype Cave, because they're only going to open the chests that actually have the hype.
Shizame going into the blind fight.
And it has our hammer and the red mail. Alright. So, items we're missing right now. We're missing the... Oof. That's a nasty death to take.
We have a sword upgrade up at the graveyard cave led. Cave.
We're seeing where the other Paradise Cave checks were now, and it looks like there was something major. There was a heart, at least. So, if Shizame has the blue cane, which it looks like all our runners do have, I must have missed when they picked that up.
Possibly Spike Cave, possibly just a safety.
Probably, I don't think it was in Spike Cave.
It might be for Spike Cave.
Ah. And there's the Book of Manure on Blind in the Thief.
Wonder how he reads that. Is it written in Braille?
And Bruce can just read the book. Fine. And Greater Lich has another sword upgrade. That might have been the one that we saw Frostbite pick up. I probably wasn't paying attention.
4 screens is a lot of screens to watch.
Yeah, it is quite difficult. Hopefully you guys in home are giving it. Oh, Hera Compass Chest. Alright, so everyone did have that. And yeah, that was a viable way to kill Blind. If Shizame had trouble, just could activate the cane. Had a green potion as well, so it could easily just did cane strats. I wonder if any of our runners is going to tease us with the book when they go over to Skull Woods. If Skull Woods is even required, it doesn't even look like it.
Now, we do see a Salty Fry heading into Bumper Cave because up at top was Ether.
Alright, so Bombos and Ether are 2 required medallions, it looks like. Which goes where we don't know yet, of course, but we'll soon find out. Shizame gonna be picking up... Yeah. Shizame gonna pick up the red mail, as well as the hammer. Frost got free now with the silver arrows.
Picking up 2 tablets tells me we probably have a required Mire and Turtle Rod? Maybe?
Yeah, so we're looking for that ice rod. And Boss Godfrey apparently picked up the Quake Medallion, which is interesting. So Shizame is going to now pick up the lamp. If Shizame was going to do Master Sword Silverless, this is pretty much a requirement to pick up. If you don't go for half magic. But Shizame's out of bombs! Oh no!
Ooh.
A misstep there. But one he can easily recover from.
Thankfully, with Flute, super easy to get to Kakariko, then back down to the desert area.
Yeah, she's gonna buy some bombs real quick and then go get that lamp. And what I was saying earlier is that the lamp is kind of required if you're gonna do a Master Sword Silverless fight because, well, unless you are absolutely perfect with getting 3 spins apiece every time you light that torch with a fire rod and get the torch glitch even, you basically have to do it perfectly. You have to do a perfect fight in that sort of scenario. So picking up the lantern isn't that big a deal. If you're gonna be doing silver, you're not gonna be doing silverless. but it would certainly help.
Yep, looks like Chizame is just heading up to Bumper Cave.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, Fire Rod takes a lot more magic, folks. And with those 8 shots and getting 24 spin attacks on Ganon's final phase, you would need to be absolutely perfect without a bottle, the use of a magic potion, which they do have, thankfully, in order to get a Master Sword Silverless Ganon kill on without needing to reset. So picking up the lamp, if you're going to do a Silverless fight, alleviates your magic drain quite a bit in the fight.
Fast fight with a very nice blind fight. Chizame going to go pick up the sword out of graveyard.
Tiberius, we're assuming that you get 3 hits in per relight, which is possible.
Very hard to do.
Yeah, incredibly hard to do, so the lamp was a nice safety to have in that regard. Because getting perfect Fire Rod shots is not easy. Yeah, Tiberius, you're not counting the fact you can potentially get the 3 hits on Ganon as soon as you set up the torch glitch. Anyway, now we're seeing Hyrule Castle.
Is Aggo? No, they have Hammer. They don't have to do Aggo 1 for that east side access.
You're right, they don't have to do this.
Oh, Fear pointing out no one actually
Lumberjack!
showed us what was the Lumberjack, yeah.
Ah, so Aga is required this scene because of Lumberjack Cave.
You got your wish.
I didn't even look at the sword log. Given all the items, it's probably either the Ice Sword or the Kingdom of Mario. One of the two. Hey, I guess we can play the blue ball guessing game. I'm gonna go with 2.
I'm with Jen.
Yeah, speaking of Jen, literary Jen, as well as where's Zag? I hope I pronounced that right. They are our trackers this evening. They got a little bit of an easy road here in terms of items, but they're keeping those items up to date for you on screen. Shout out to them.
Godfrey heading in the Swamp Palace. Interesting.
Alright, so we're seeing a simultaneous Aga fight from Solivar and Chizame. Meanwhile, Boss Godfrey is dipping into swamp, as you said. We don't have the music on them, but it's probably a dungeon that is worth diving.
Chat pointing out there could be some sort of fetch quest item in Lumberjack that's required.
That could also be true. And even though with the silver arrows, Frostbite's still picking up the lamp. That's another thing the lamp has over the fire rod. It's a lot easier to set up the torch switch with it.
Possibly not comfortable having to do agate tower or lamplet.
Oh yeah, with agate being required, the lamp makes a lot more sense now. Actually, did Salty do it lampless?
He did.
And yeah, Boss Godfrey definitely has the hammer at this point. There's no way he can get this far in the dungeon without it. Ah, Salty did it with the fire rod strats. He memorized the torch location, which is arguably harder than memorizing the room layouts. Anyway, Aga's down. Get a full heal. And just walking out the pyramid.
Guess we didn't really need to know what was on the ledge.
And now keep in mind, folks, with the fact they have the mirror and Aga defeated, they have to pay a little bit more mind to when they save and quit, because the pyramid now has been unlocked as a restart point in the Dark World. You have to have both Aga defeated and the mirror for it to be unlocked. So if you don't have one, you ideally don't want to do the other.
Shazame going straight for Pod. Salty Fry gonna show us what's in Lumberjack Cave. Boss Godfrey doing a Master Sword Argus fight.
And it is indeed the Cane of Samaria that is at the Lumberjack Ledge, so Aga is required. Given the fact for collecting medallions, that makes perfect sense. And Boss Godfrey defeats Argus, and it is a crystal dungeon, so that is something they will have to do.
Looks like there wasn't all that much else in Pod. Not Pod, Swamp Pod.
It's easy to get dungeons mixed up. I get bosses mixed up all the time. And yes, Leave Night. Lumberjack X are normally sawing the tree in pre-Aga Light World, but when you go to post-Aga Light World, after Aghanim is defeated, they have stopped sawing the tree there. You've actually just disappeared from the world. But the tree is now bonkable and hollow, so you go into a fall-down pit and get the item that's at the Lumberjack Ledge, as we call it. While they're there, it is impossible to bonk the tree and reveal the pit they're in.
Salty Fry now going to pick up the lamp.
I want to even say that, even in overworld glitches, you need to defeat Aghanim in order to access that specific cave. There's no overworld glitch that lets you sneak in there. Because the hole doesn't even spawn till you defeat Aghanim. Or the transition, rather. It looks like there's not much in Pod, so Shazami's just here to clear. Could we have a moon? Could we have an Ice Rod in Turtle Rock situation? And there's our Bombos confirmation. And yeah, I will concede that Mire Dark Rooms are kind of a thing. They are intermediate level intermediate to hard difficulty. Learning Aga rooms completely in the dark. Yeah, no. I refuse. If I have to go up to Aga, give me the lamp.
I'm with you on this one, Wolflink.
And yeah, a lot of items, and we're only 35 minutes in the seed. That is what the spoiler race kind of does. This is not so much about checking items as it is just planning your route based on a sort of like an item layout and just executing it.
Rick asking the important question, where is the Meyer Big Key? Spoiler logs do give key locations too, so luckily our players will not have to do too much searching in Meyer.
Yeah. Of course, we up here in the commentary division don't know, because even though we were in the IRC and could have looked at the spoiler log, we chose not to.
We liked being surprised. Looks like it's fire lot.
Yeah. Probably right here. There it is. And down goes Homicide King for Shazami. Not much is in pot, it looks like, except for a crystal and a heart piece. I would still rate intermediate for Meyer, because really the most difficult part of the Meyer Dark Rooms is the first room where you're trying to find the Samaria block the switch. Once you can feel that out, the rest of this is actually pretty straightforward if you got the room layouts memorized. And Aga is just extra difficult because there's pits involved. That's all there. That's the only reason why it's hard. It's really hard to memorize a room layout when you keep falling and resetting your position.
With silver arrows, Vitreous, very easy.
Oh yeah. There's a kind of a reason why normally the 5-6 crystals that lock the super bomb block the silver arrows. It's because the Vitreous here is kind of allergic to them.
Shazame also heading into Meyer. Looks like Frostbite about to do Swamp.
And Shazame is still not with the silver arrows that are at Super Bunny Cave. So, my best guess is that Shazame is saving that routing for when he does Turtle Rock. And given the way they're playing right now, it's probably Ice Rod in Turtle Rock at this point. Or it could be an Ice. Either way, when Shazame climbs the mountain to go deal with Turtle Rock, we'll probably make a detour to Super Bunny, pick up the silvers, and then be in go mode.
Yeah, this is interesting. Salty is heading in that Ice Palace. With no map check, none of us have any idea if this is a crystal or pendant.
Well, we can tell by the music, this is indeed a crystal, it sounds like.
I don't know the music off the top of my head, so I'm glad you did.
Yes. Also, I'd like the divergence we have here. We have 4 different runners in 4 different dungeons. All in various amounts of progress in the dungeon, too. Boss did a map check for us, so Misery Mire is a 5-6, as is... Wait, is it Ice Palace Misery Mire for a 5-6? That's actually kind of hilarious. But Turtle Rock is also required, it looks like, so we did get a map check from Boss Godfrey.
I didn't even see it pop up on the screen.
Neither did I. And yeah, this is the beauty of a spoiler log race. Our runners know where the items are, or at least have a good idea where they need to, how they need to move. So this is purely routing, and this is purely execution. It looks like Frostray might have not read up on the swamp items. But yeah, the perfect way I can describe the seed is it's basically doing an any percent speed run, except the route changes every single time. But you're given a roadmap to that route.
Good way of putting it.
And we're seeing Argus now being fought by Frostbite. Meanwhile, Chazami is going into a silverless Vitreous fight. Cold Stare is being burned down as we speak. 3 bosses being fought at the same time.
I love it.
Vitreous down first, followed by Cold Stare, then Argus. All the bosses dying. 3 crystals from 3 different dungeons at the same time, folks. That is something you don't see too often.
I love it.
Alright. So they're probably off the pod. The zombie off the swamp. They've just changed dungeons! The 3 people that have just finished the dungeons are now going to eat different dungeons. Frostbite diving into first into ice. Salty Fire on the way to pod. Shazame entering swamp. Given how they've been moving, Ice Rod has to be in Turtle Rock.
Or it's locked behind the 5-6 crystals in Fat Carrot? One of the two, I'm guessing.
If that was the case, given the fact that Salty Fire already has the 5-6 in tow, he would have already gone there. I'm thinking it's Turtle Rock.
That's true. We could also both be very surprised by a random cave location any minute.
Could be Mimic Cave, I'll concede that. I consider that part of Turtle Rock as well.
That's true.
Someone is asking in chat, did we ever get a Pyramid Ledge check? We did not, because our runners note that it's nothing good.
They also found out what was in Zora ahead of time, which means no one has to find out a life lesson to...
Yep, we have not seen either of the fishes, actually. And we have not seen any hints either.
Because the players don't need them.
Yeah, spoiler... The hint system is kind of useless when you've got the entire spoiler log. And yeah, just for anyone tuning in just now, the spoiler log race, we've given them 15 minutes to study it, and after which it's basically an honor system at that point to close it and then begin your routing accordingly. We can't force them to not keep it open. And I've been in this community for a little over a year now. There is a lot of honor involved in this community. It is just a great community in general.
It really is.
Nice use of Samaria there to hit the switch for Salty Fry. And it's not going to be, unfortunately, in sync here, but it looks like we might get 3 bosses once again at the exact same time. Actually, no, Salty Fry's too far out. We're probably only going to get 2.
Some are using a nice staircase to avoid taking a hit, rather, with only 4 hearts. Definitely the least safe of our players when it comes to...
Alright. Cold stare down for Frostbite. Argus has fallen for Chazame.
Boss Godfrey heading into pod as Salty Fry heads down to King Commissar.
And this is good routing here from Frostbite. Alright, look at his last remaining dungeons he has left. He has Pod, which we know is a crystal. He has Swamp and he has Desert and Mire, rather. So he's going to be able to do them back to back. Oh, wait, no. Desert is apparently a pendant. Seems to be a little bit of... Yeah, we got 8 pendants on the top 2 trackers. I guess someone mismarked. Oh well. It looks like they're fixing it now. No one's perfect, not even me. I'm far from perfect.
King Commissar going down, Frostbite entering pod, Boss Godfrey in the middle of pod, Chazame, and Ice Power.
Yep.
Salty.
And given that... Sorry, go ahead.
Salty probably heading to Swamp at this point. Yeah. Salty
definitely going to Swamp. Yeah, at this point, it's looking very, very likely that the Ice Rod is in Turtle Rock or in the area they're in. We know it's not on the tablets because of the aforementioned only one sword is considered a part of the logic of the seed. So as a result, the logic currently does not put any progression on the tablets to begin with.
Which is nice.
Yeah, but it's not intended.
It's true.
And I am keeping an eye on IRC here. We could have a finisher at any time here, but it looks like the routing here is pretty clean. So we're going to see a very tight finish amongst the top of the pack, I feel. I don't think anyone's had any critical errors, per se. Well, I say that, but Shazami did die twice in Thieves Town. And I think Frostbite also died at some point. But able to keep up all the same with the rest of the seed here. Yeah, folks, you can go ahead and guess what the ice road is. We don't know. Seriously, we don't know. I'm assuming that it's somewhere in Turtle Rock because our runners haven't gone out of their way to go getting it. So they know it's up in that area. And actually, with this defeat of Cold Stare, Tazami will be on his way up to Turtle Rock. This is Crystal 6. And it is also Crystal 6 for Salty Fry, so those two are neck and neck, actually. We have a race.
Salty just slightly behind because he's got to go finish Swamp Poly.
Yeah. Our Shizame does not have the silver arrows yet.
It's interesting, the left side of our screen is pretty tight with where they are, and then on the right side of our screen is also extremely tight. Just Frostbite defeated Aghanim already.
And this is a supply run here real quick before the final fight. Dinosaur King down for both of our runners on the right. Argus now bounding up for phase 2. Silver arrow planted right in the eye. And Shizame is going up through Paradox, so we'll probably dip into Super Bunny on the way to Canon's Tower. Or we'll go just pure Silverless at this point. We'll see. And yeah, floating on is only 20 rupees.
Godfrey heading into Aghanim's Tower, Frostbite heading into Maya.
And both of our runners on the left are now entering this, and it looks like it was Ether to enter Turtle Rock, because that is what the medallion Shizame pulled out. Yep. Now does Shizame go in first? Yeah, Shizame's gonna go in first and probably grab the silvers on his way to Ganon's Tower, if I had to guess at this point. Or Shizame's not going for the silvers at all, which I think it's only about, what, 10 seconds to go grab them real quick in Super Bunny at this point?
With only 4 hearts, I would think going silverless is heavy risk, even for one of our top players like Shizame is.
Yeah, I completely agree. I suppose there's a way we can play the game, I just realized. We can ask for a specific room. So it won't be a traditional guessing game. Oh, there's the ice rod! It wasn't Turtle Rock. I was actually right again. Wow, I can read the lines pretty well here.
Are you psychic?
I certainly haven't looked at the spoiler log, so maybe? Maybe I've seen so many of these races, I've just learned to tell when something is where.
Four hearts in Chain Chomp Room is not delightful.
No, especially because if you had Green Mail, that would be a one-shot kill. Ice right now for Salty Fire. He is now in go mode. So it looks like Shizame didn't focus on too many safeties, which is perfectly fine. You can play the game with what they have. And Shizame forced to retreat here, but kind of trapped. Nice spin in the Hokoboku.
This is where having magic powder would be really nice. Ooh.
Yeah, this race is so close. I don't really want to announce an overall finisher unless they have just routed the seed and they're already done. We keeping an eye on IRC. In the meantime, let's focus on this routing through Turtle Rock. Or maybe we should focus on the fact that we're seeing eyeballs. Wow! Okay! Frostbite's taking a different tactic here. Instead of using silver arrows, he's gonna use the tempered sword, gain a burn, and slashes to get through phase 1 of Vitreous.
Interesting.
Oof. Gotta be careful of that lightning, it is random. And it gets more frequent the more eyeballs are defeated. Only have 1 heart now. There's no truly safe place except for the sides closest to the slime. 2 arrows? GG. Alright, folks. We are fast approaching Trinex here. We're not gonna do our traditional guessing game in the sense of we are gonna ask for a number. Give us the room you think the big key is in, because our runners already know where the big key is. Spy Pro, what is your guess to that?
I always like the randomizer room.
Aptly named. You know what? Let's just make this a truly fast seed. I'm gonna say it's in Hope Room. To explain the randomized room, it's a bump behind a bumble wall on the left side of Gannis Tower. Hope Room is just down the right staircase in the first 2 chests. In one of those 2 chests.
Chisame with both heads down.
Yep, on to phase 2. Not an ideal position, unfortunately, to get a quick kill. But a good kill all the same. And hey, thank you for the subscription there. Here to Matt2009 saying Vanilla Room. Which would be behind Ice Armos in the middle chest. Yeah, Shizame only has 4 hearts in the red mail. It's going to be our first run in against Tower, so we will be looking for which room the big key is in. We're not going to go by chest count here this time, folks. Because it's going to be kind of skewed in. Yeah, Shizame taking a little extra time to grab the silver arrows. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have a race between Salty Fry and Shizame. It's about to come full circle right here, right now.
Shizame picking up those silvers, yep.
And they are literally 2 seconds apart there, Salty Fry and Shizame. We have a race, folks. And they both know where the big key is, so this is gonna be pure execution. At this... It is actually gonna be Salty Fry who enters first. Or is it gonna be Shizame? I can't tell.
Shizame by like half a second, I think.
Yeah, it's gonna be Shizame by like half a second here.
Frostbite ahead of Godfrey by about a dungeon.
They're going opposite ways. Did they not check where Gannis Tower big key is?
There's Smokey.
Oh, Salty Fry with the knowledge of the key in the chest. It's in Compass Room. It's either that or Armos. This is the fastest way to Armos. Zame taking their time. It is not Compass Room, folks. It is at Vanilla or Bob's chest at this point. Using the cane here to great effect. Very nice management of the magic. Shizami unfortunately falling in the pit here because the pits alternate as you step on the star tiles. Beautiful bonk jump. Pretty easy to do once you know how.
And it is in Bob's. Salty Fry does not have a key though. Oof, God. Getting stopped by the hard hat beetle there.
Alright. We're in the gauntlet now for Salty Fry. I got distracted. Did you have to catch where the big key was?
Bob's room.
Bob's chest.
It's a weird anti-fairy. Zame going for a safety here.
Alright. Level 2 now. Unfortunately missing one of the silvers. Missing 2 of the silvers! Alright. Through level 2. Shizami is hot on Salty Fry's heels. Any sort of trip up, and this is gonna be Shizami in the lead here on our restream.
Salty Fry does not have a key when he came up here.
Oh, it's probably fine because keep in mind he probably read the spoiler log and memorized that there's a small key up here in the one of the chests. He does have 3 chests here to check, and he probably knows which one to check. Because this is why that he has the lead right now, is that Salty Fry had knowledge of the small key in the Hope Room. So he was able to go full right.
That's true.
Whereas Shizami had to do a pseudo dark edition to pick up the key in the pot. And it looks like there's a key in the pre-Moldorm chest. No! He forgot a key!
Oh, poor Salty.
Salty with a critical error in his routing.
Gonna pick up the same key Shizame grabbed earlier, but
that is unfortunate. Although, I will admit, it has happened to me before.
Same.
We've all been there. We've all forgotten to get that one key for the ascent. Oh, Chizami did the same thing, but I think Chizami has not got the one from the Helmosaur, so...
He did not, so he at least does not have to warp all the way back down.
So Chizami's route deviation actually worked to his advantage.
Ooh, Godfrey taking a death and change on for Frostbite going left for some reason. Possibly not knowing the secondary route to Bob's room.
Frostbite might not have studied the map as thoroughly, but anyway, here we go. The trigonometry fight that is Aghanim 2, folks. Kind of an awkward pattern to hit there, unfortunately. Didn't get any. This one looks good, though. Yeah, sadly, only a single hit. And another 0. Oof. Not getting good patterns here. But a triple to clean up. And with Chizami defeating Aghanim 2, it is now time to fight the pig. Tempest Sword in hand. Sorry?
I wonder if Frostbite forgot where the big key was.
Ooh, that is a possibility that he didn't look it up.
That's definitely some rage slashing going on.
Anyway, folks, it'll be 12 slashes of phase here for Chizami. 6 spins is an alternate for the first 2 phases, after which it'll be 4 slashes as Ganon once Ganon stops teleporting around the room. If you're too slow to get the hit, he'll shoot a spiraling fire bat in phase 3. You don't want that because it can be quite annoying to get hit when the ground pound's done. And then afterwards is the darkness technique. Keep the torches lit, stun Ganon with a slash, and then let loose 4 silver arrows for the victory. And there's no way that Chizami would run out of silver arrows, but if he did, it'd be 3 spin attacks per missed silver arrow shot. 12 in total.
Don't forget a small key, Frostbite.
Alright, there's 1 hit. There's 2 hits. 3 hits. It's gonna be a 2 cycle here. And there you go. Get your GGs in chat for Chizami, who won this race on the restream, beating out Salty Fry because of a routing mistake. But Chizami, it was 2nd place with an official time of 1 hour, 9 minutes, 14 seconds. The overall winner of this race was someone off stream. It was Atzder, who was 1st place with a time of 1 hour, 7 minutes, 56 seconds. So, if we theorize here, if Salty Fry did not make the small key mistake, he would have won the race. He would have, or at least been very, very close to doing so.
Quite possibly. We have In the Name of BT finishing 3rd at 1 hour, 10 minutes, 17 seconds.
Get your G's in the chat. We'll see if Chizami will be joining us. Overall, this is a great display of routing execution here. And we got Chizame here in the waiting room. Let's go ahead and pull them in. Chizame, welcome in GG, and you have actually no idea how close this was on the restream. Salty Fry was actually ahead of you up Ganon's tower, but he forgot a critical thing.
It's gotta be a small key, huh?
He forgot a small key. So your little route deviation, which lost you a couple seconds, actually saved you 5 minutes. Or at least 3 minutes.
Yeah,
because
I remember.
At least with you did forget the small key as well, but you just had to pick up the moment where Hell was working. He had to go all the way back down the tower.
Oof. Yeah, that's why I made that detour right at the beginning, because the log had nothing about small keys upstairs. Although, it felt silly when I got to the door and was like, wait, I'm forgetting something here, but I don't know what.
And then you realized you hadn't killed the Helmsaurs. And we were just theorizing here, if Salty did not do that, that mistake probably cost him first place here in the race.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But yeah, GG's you as well.
Jeez.
So, this was of course a spoiler, because we did not know what it was, but would you care to fill us in on why you did not get so many heart containers?
I deleted all the heart containers from my spoiler log. That was a complete mistake.
Oh, so you were essentially doing this low percent accidentally.
Yes. I knew about the fairy plus the heart container in Hookshot Cave, but I figured if I was already at this point, I may as well go all the way.
Alright, well, get your G's in chat now for Salty Fry.
Salty finished in 4th place with an SRL time of 1 hour, 12 minutes, and 14 seconds.
That's right. 4th place total. 3rd place goes to In the Name of DT. 1 hour, 10 minutes, 17 seconds. And sadly, we did have at least one other runner forfeit. And we are now joined, I believe, by Salty Fry. GG to you, and I must say, I feel bad for you for forgetting that small key.
The worst part is going into GT, like I knew I needed to go get that key, and I'm thinking, should I go get that before I go get the big key or after the big key? And I'm like, I'll just do it after. There's no way I'll forget that, right? But sure enough, then I get up to the top and I see that I need a key to get through that one door in the mini Moldorm cave room there, and I'm like, oh crap! And right then and there, I knew it. I'm just like, oh crap, here we go.
Yep.
So I'm going to ask this a little bit more. Given how much time you lost because of that, it was a real good shot that you actually could have won this race. Does that sting just a little bit more in realizing that?
A little bit. You know what? I just kind of do these for fun. I've done enough of these. I've won enough of these where whatever happens, happens. And if I win, I win. If I don't, so be it. And I just kind of take it in stride. And it happens, right? It happens. That's just kind of the way I look at it, really.
Oh, I can see why you went for pedestal. Hi there, single arrow.
So many mistakes.
Yeah.
I forgot the bomb in Agina's cave too, so I lost a good chunk of time there.
Yeah, there's a couple of deaths as well.
And the double deaths, yeah, and Thieves Town of all places.
Yeah, until I got to GT, everything went pretty well. The only thing I really kind of screwed up that I thought about was when I went to Hera, I marked down that the boots were in the big chest, not the big key chest. So I went up and opened the big chest, expecting to get the boots, and I think it was the map popped out of there, and I was like, huh? I had to double check my notes for a second there, make sure that I was in the right place, at least with the boots, so at least I just messed up the chest it was in and not the area.
I was actually thinking the same thing, but then I remembered we get full magic refill after killing Moldorm, so I was like, oh, it's okay. Everything is okay.
Yeah, it wasn't really the end of the world. The boots would have made Moldorm a little easier, although I didn't fall anyway with the fighter sword, so it was alright.
Oh, yeah. Getting back to that thing there, your reaction to what you said, that is actually a very good, nice attitude to have in regards to the randomizer and just in general. Even if you're getting super tilted, you should really...
I guess it helps that I've been around for a while now. I've been in many tournaments, and I've done several, like 500 races now or so, so I've kind of been through it all at this point in time. I'm one of the few people that pretty much never forfeit. I think I forfeit from tilt once. I think I have a total of forfeits, four forfeits. 3 of those were because I had to go to work instead, so it's just kind of the way I am.
Work, it's the real enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I try not to do races right before work anymore, so that doesn't happen anymore.
Yeah, but good on you for having the... I've been saying that tenacity is a thing that is in the randomizer. Just having that will to not quit when things go wrong.
Yeah, well, I've had like a long, like even in my tourney races, I've had like an endless list of things that have gone like insanely wrong. There was one race where I hard locked and where I mirrored at the same frame where I picked up the big key off the torch. So I literally had to hard reset there and I lost a bunch of progress. There was another one where I found out the hard way that apparently you can't bomb jump in Ice Palace with certain enemies and Randomizer around. So you just find things out the hard way. Like if you've been through that kind of stuff, it's just kind of like, yeah, whatever, a lot of the time.
Frostbite taking a death in the Ganon fight. Luckily had a backup fairy in her bottle.
Yeah, good racing from both you and Chizame. Was there any safeties that you did not pick up that you knew that were considering?
No, I got everything that I would have even considered getting. There was some I probably could have passed on to some extent. 7 hearts is quite a lot for me in these races, especially with red mail, but a lot of the hearts weren't too far out of the way, I guess. Like, like the powder was in Skullwood, so I was never going to get that. Half Magic was in Desert, I was never going to get that. The other sword was in Purple Chest. I mean, I had to kind of pick one of either Purple Chest or Graveyard Ledge, I felt like, and I felt like Graveyard Ledge was definitely going to be faster out of those two.
I would agree to that, yeah.
Especially because you had to go to Upper Cave and Lumberjack as well. There's no reason to go in the opposite direction.
Yeah, the one thing I was thinking is later on is I kind of wished I comboed all those together like I did Graveyard Ledge and Bumper Cave at the same time. But then when I was over there, I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to come over here again when I have to get the cane as well. It would have been nice if I could have kind of fit all those together as well, but it is what it is.
If I may cut you off here briefly, Frostbite just came in, finished in 7th place total with a time of 1:17.15. Coming in 5th was Super Taylor with a time of 1:13.22, and Shire 6th place with a time of 1:15.28. And hyperspeeding it for us here so he can get in the call, I guess. So yeah, this scene was actually just a perfect thing of execution. I basically said it as such. It was like any percent speedrun where the route is completely different, but you're given a roadmap to read the route beforehand.
And my execution always suffers a little in these because I do a lot of routing on the fly, in particular the dungeons. Like I don't really look up anything in terms of where the big keys are ahead of time. I kind of do that all on the go as I'm going through different dungeons. I kind of route them out in terms of exactly what I'm going to do. And early on, in the 15 minutes we got, I just kind of focus on figuring out where all the items are and the rough route I'm going to take to kind of get through them usually.
I perpetually have the maps of all the dungeons open so I can figure out where the items actually are.
Yeah, I do the same thing. I got the maps open so I can check them because I absolutely have no clue. I'm getting better at which ones are the maps and the compass chests per se, but like if I just guess, I'll always guess wrong. Like I remember doing that in Eastern a couple of times where I think this one's the map chest. No. The next one's the map chest. No. The next one's the map chest. Okay, well this one I guess has to be the map chest.
Yeah, I started just putting numbers beside the spoiler. It's like what chest would this have been?
And we are now also joined by Frostbite33, GGG as well. Had a little bit of trouble with the bait key. I guess you forgot where it was in Ganon Tower?
No, I knew where it was. My problem was I muscle memory to open that stupid compass door, and I knew I wasn't going to have enough keys, so I YOLO'd Rando Room hoping it would have a key, and then I paused and checked to see if there were any. Of course, there were not, and so I had to go back into the whatever the heck that Stalfos room is to find a small key. So that was just an absolute muscle memory into the door on accident using the key I needed to take upstairs with me.
Yeah, that does happen sometimes, unfortunately.
Well, it only happens in these modes because I would never route that way normally because you go up into the Stalfos room every time if you don't. But, you know, it was an interesting seed because it was basically go mode like 5 or 6 dungeons, I'm assuming, for most people. So I had a decent amount of time to look through the logs of the actual dungeons to figure out what chests I wanted to select. And so I spent most of that time looking at Ganon's Tower to see if, okay, can I actually get the Hope Key and then just go straight to the big key and go upstairs? And you could, but you just couldn't use a key.
That's what I did, but I forgot to get the key over on the left side that's just sitting there under the pot. So I ended up having to do the whole climb twice because...
That's why it was so close. I was wondering. I also forgot to pick up the bow. My plan was to get down off the mountain and then go pick up the sword at the graveyard ledge and the bow and then go do Aga into Pod. But of course, without the bow, I couldn't do that, so that cost me about another couple minutes to go back. And it didn't really hurt me because I still had to get the thing on the bumper ledge and the something else over there at the same time, so it wasn't the worst mistake. But I mean, it started badly for me when I didn't know when I thought I knew which one was the map chest in Eastern Palace, and I went to the wrong one, and then I had to go figure out, okay, where the heck is this stupid mirror and or the big key I guess I was looking for. But no, I find these seeds are interesting because, like, I'm assuming you notice people like walking into walls more often when you're watching it, because I'm spending so much time not actually paying attention to the game screen. I find it very easy to muscle memory into things and to just end up like checking chests I have no intention of doing and things like that, because you're always trying to think of where you want to go next.
Is that why you're one of the only runners on a region to have the fire shield and the bug net?
Those were, I think, in Blind's Hut. They're in big areas, I believe. So when I go into a place like that, I don't mark which chests they are. I just mark that I want to go to Blind's or I want to go to the well, and I just grab it all. And I know it costs me some time, but I am so bad at remembering. Like, the only time I tried to do that was on TR Laser Bridge, and I still got the stupid chest wrong about which one had the small key. So, no, that's basically, I think, why. I'm pretty sure I got both of those in either dungeons or things. I didn't pick them up on purpose, that's for sure.
Well, the bug net was right next to the hook shot.
Yeah.
Which is in the back of Escape.
One of the shields was in Paradox Cave, I think, too. So, and I can never remember which one's the back and the top and the bottom in Paradox Cave. So I thought everything was in the 5 chest room, but of course both the things I wanted were in the 2 chest room. But then I hadn't actually looked to see what was in the other one, so I figure I'm just gonna see if there's any heart pieces or anything in here that I might want to get, because I still almost managed to die a number of times throughout the run. So. Or at least use my fairy earlier than intended, like when I used it on Ganon.
Yeah.
So, Chizame, you were the only person on the restream that went to Kakariko first. Every single other person we got to watch in nearly perfect sync go over to Eastern.
If there was a sword in CAC, I may as well be a little bit safer, especially because I've been awful and died in that dark room before.
That makes perfect sense to me. Just get yourself a more stable weapon to fight with. Oh no! Boss Godfrey just died immediately on Ganon.
Oof, better than late on Ganon. I actually knew that the red meringue was in Eastern Palace, and that was my game plan for getting through the dark room without losing all of my health, and it actually worked okay.
Yeah. The lamp was still required, though, because you all had to climb Aga Tower.
I actually considered skipping the lamp because the fire rod was so early, and honestly, if it had have been a planned or spoiler log, I almost certainly would have skipped the lamp, because I never would have gone to Agina's. I would have checked the lumberjack as soon as I got the boots, and I just would have gone up dark, because it's really, people I think overblow. Let me caveat that with, if you have the fire rod, it's really, really simple to go up Agus Tower dark if you have the fire rod. I mean, I did it my first time in a race when I saw something on the ledge. I didn't want to go looking for the lamp, and I just said nuts to this. I'm pulling up a dark map and trying it, and it really isn't that hard. So that was my game plan. But in something like this where you know it's there, I had the flute, I had the boots. It was a very quick check to go pick it up, and it certainly saves time in those rooms and in like the Mire dark room as well. I mean, I can do them, but it certainly saves time.
Yeah. Of course, there's also the whole setting up the torch glitch pretty easily with just the lamp.
Torch glitch when you have silver arrows, I don't even go for the torch glitch. I just go for quick cycles.
Yeah. Now, you did mention the half magic was in desert. Could you enlighten us as to where exactly it was?
It was in the big chest, I think.
Ah. Yeah, like me and Spypo here, we actually sort of had a gentleman's agreement going on. We didn't look at the spoiler log like you guys did, so we were completely blind to what you were finding.
That I was wondering when I was thinking about it whether you guys would do that or not, because it's like, and now he's going to Aga Tower, you know? It must have been pretty funny with some of the plays that get made in a race like this.
Yeah. Oh no! Boss Grudgery just fell to Ganon.
Yeah, none of you guys actually showed us what was on Lumberjack Ledge before going up the tower, because obviously you guys knew already. So we're just sitting there going, what are they doing?
You know there's got to be something up there, though.
Yeah.
We're all making amazing plays at the same time.
Yeah.
Although, I will say this much, given the fact you guys were just constantly going around other dungeons without looking for extra spots, or at least I kind of figured that Ice Rod was in Turtle Rock. You know, the classic troll.
Wolflink called both the Ice Rod and the seed being Aga required. It was really weird.
I know my own luck, I guess. I'm not kidding, I did not look at the spoiler log, so... I kind of read that the Ice Rod was required, but I was predicting the Aga thing before the seed even began.
The saddest thing for me in this is that this time was actually, I think, about a minute slower than my fastest time without spoilers, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, and those item completion rates, you can't be mad at those.
No. It was actually a very sort of interesting seed, because I think I hit a pretty darn good route if I hadn't done the the GT blunder, and if I had got the bow when I would have intended. I mean, in a race like this, it's gonna, like, the better executors like Salty and Chizame are going to finish near the top, because it's less guesswork, if you will, and that's sort of how I intend to place higher in races, when I make better guesses. But I was actually a little bit closer than I thought, because I thought I was going to be right near the end of everyone finishing up, because I did, like, that GT was a disaster.
Well, you say that you routed pretty well. I don't think you were here when we mentioned this, but Chizame and Salty both forgot a key.
Oh yeah.
Chizame at least forgot the one in Helmasaur, but Salty had to go all the way back down.
Well, this isn't my first spoiler log race. That's what I'll say. I've done that Helmasaur one before, so I'm not good enough with the spoiler logs to actually know. Okay, I just read it and I can sort of map out where they are. I literally have to look at a map and find out which one has the compass in it and figure out what's that. So I kind of, like, I knew the basement had a key, and I knew that the first thing in Pod was a key, and I was hoping that bridge chest was going to be a key. Of course it wasn't, but I figured it was quicker to go down into the dark to get a key rather than go into I guess it would have either been the right side or the vanilla big key chest. The other one was an interesting TR, because I think it was quicker just to go grab the key off Laser Bridge as opposed to killing the Pokey for that key. But it's always hard to say, because you know, when you check the wrong chest, it might not have been quicker, but I think it would have been quicker just to jet down there and grab the key and run out and just skip that whole, you know, skip the Pokey, skip the big chest, all that nonsense.
Yeah.
I feel like almost certainly it would have been, like, especially when you account for the whole little travel time and those pipes getting to and from that Pokey chest, that takes a long time to go there. And
Yeah, exactly.
Boss Godfrey attempting again and again, dying a second time. Looks like he was hugged by Ganon, unfortunately. That's a very dangerous hug. If he didn't have any mail upgrades, that would have been 8 hearts of damage. That would have been an instant kill.
That was another thing friendly about these seeds, is you basically had to get the 2 mail upgrades. I think you would almost have to go out of your way to avoid them.
Yeah, blue mail was on Spectacle Rock, and I believe the red mail was in the chest just before the hammer.
Yeah, it was in Hookshot, or it was in Hype Cave, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, the rest of Hype Cave is probably garbage.
Hey, you get the hammer in the mail. I think we got to adjust our rating system. That's like a 9.5 out of 10 for me in 2019.
Fair enough, I suppose. Although, if we had known what this was on ours, we probably would have down that by a few points.
Yeah.
So, GG's to all three of you as well. Any final thoughts regarding this seed? Anything you would have done differently?
Thieves Town, my bane.
Yeah, that Thieves Town was kind of nasty, Shizame, dying on the Hellway as well as dying to blind. So, actually, no, I have a question for that. Why didn't you use the cane of Burna on blind when you were struggling?
I didn't pick up Burna. I just skipped it.
You skipped Burna?
Yeah, I skipped everything.
And you probably didn't have the cape yet, right?
Nope, no cape.
Yeah.
Oh, we had
I almost died in the Hellway too. I got lucky fairy. I got like 3 lucky fairy drops in this seed.
Our tracker hasn't marked, but anyway, GG to Boss Godfrey, finishing in 11th with a time of 1:31.06. Between him and Frostbite, AK Drizzt in 8th with a time of 1:21.20. The Cadobat, 9th place with a time of 1:22.29. And I gotta get it close for this one because I can barely read it. Little Miss Arcade, 10th with a time of 1:29.06. So GG's to them as well. It's about half her field now turned in. And we'll see if Boss Godfrey wants an interview. And he's joining us right here in chat. GG's to you. Kind of a rough Ganon, but otherwise a pretty okay seed.
I appreciate that. That might be the saddest thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, 7-Heart Ganon is not fun. At least you had Red Mail to back it up. That Ganon hug you took that killed you, that would have been an instant kill without those mail upgrades at your health total.
Oh, absolutely. The seed gave me everything it could to try to keep me alive, and I said, no thank you. I'm gonna hug Ganon a bunch today.
Yeah, I noticed you picked up the Quake Medallion. I mean, that's the unique item that you have amongst our other runners. Where was that?
It was in the dam, and I went and picked it up. I went out of my way to pick it up because I can't read my own handwriting.
Yeah, good tenacity on the fight as well.
Yeah, really well done to everyone there.
You know, I like these spoiler things because they give nothing but good opportunities to figure out where your routing mistakes are.
Yeah, if you found the mushroom, that would have been a heart container, it looks like. Just looking at the little hints that the game gives you at the end of the seed. But I got nothing more to say about this, so GG's to you all as well. Well, once again, very close race between Salty Fry and Shizame here at the end. It was decided by one mistake, I feel.
You literally opened Ganon's tower within half a second of each other.
Yeah, you were in the cutscene at exactly the same time. Just a couple, like maybe even like 10 frames into the cutscene difference, if that. But yeah, that's going to do it for us here. So, GG's once again to Salty Fry, Shizame, Frostbite 3030, and Boss Godfrey, our 4 featured runners here today. Make sure to give them a follow here on Twitch. Also, make sure to follow Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 2, which we are being featured on tonight, as well as Speed Gaming's 3, 4, 5, and 6, so you can keep track of any sort of content any sort of racing content that provide not just links to the past. As far as commentary, if you're interested in listening to it in a language that is you're more familiar with, we do offer commentary in French, Spanish, and German as well. And coming up on the schedule, we do not have another daily race tonight, unfortunately.
At least it's not getting restreamed.
Yeah. But on Speed Gaming proper, you will see Farim versus Andy in their tournament race. It is all dungeons, open, randomized, expert enemizer. And then later tonight on Speed Gaming 3 at 8 o'clock will be Makan versus Korek. And then at 9:30 will be Willard J. Bradley and Kyong92. That will be on Speed Gaming 5. And of course, stay tuned to the schedule so you can keep track of all the races that Speed Gaming has to offer you once again. But with that being said, that's going to do it for us here from The Link to the Past. So from all of us here at The Link to the Past Randomizer, I have been Wolfling0370, and we just see you all next time, and thank you for watching. Have a good day, everyone.
I'm Spy Poet. We'll see you guys later.